So a lot of you guys have been messaging me asking me how can I make some extra money right now. And I keep telling you guys the best thing you can do is learn one of these four things, which is sales, AI, crypto, and social media. But if you feel like that doesn't work for you and you need like more of a tangible thing, then that's why I present to you this series where I'll talk to you about all the hustles that I tried and how it worked out for me or how it didn't work out for me. So the first like really hustle that I ever tried was I was making content for businesses and weddings and whatever, like corporate videos. I was doing this for a while and I do think that it's a good way to make money. It's a real business, but the problem is I have to deal with a lot of people who aren't sure of what they want from the videos. So sometimes you find yourself doing things and you do them for nothing, and you're basically slaving away in a way for people that are never happy. So I told myself that I wasn't going to do that anymore when I started doing this in part 2. The second thing I started doing was during COVID around 2020 is I started reselling things. So I would buy PlayStations. Let's say at the time there was a limited amount of PlayStations. So I would call every pharmacy and I would like try to hustle. Like you hear the pharmacies like sell PlayStations. So I would try to call until I found one that had one. I would buy it and then I would sell it for double the price because they were so hard to find. And then that led me to doing other things just to try things out. I started reselling shoes like that I had bought from China. And then eventually I was living downtown and the videos weren't working for me anymore. I wanted to change things up. So I started flipping phones and flipping computers, MacBooks. And in doing this, I realized that I had a bigger margin if I started fixing the computers, fixing the phones, and then selling them. So I would buy broken things and fix them and then resell them. That worked, that was great, and I think that's a great thing to do if you want something like fast to figure out. But it's very exhausting because it's like you make money, you lose money, there's fuck ups. It's hard to scale and the margins, they're not that good. So that's my second hustle. In the midst of reselling these things, I had the idea of one day going to the dollar store and buying a lot of flags. They would come in packs of 4 or 5. And I would buy flags for either the Formula One weekend in Montreal here or the Saint Jean Baptiste, which is like a Quebec day or Canada day. And I would buy these flags and then I would go to the city center where there was like events and a lot of people, and I would basically sell the flags to the people and it would be open to donation. So sometimes I get 25 cents, which is, it's okay, it's what I ended up paying. Or I would get sometimes people with $5, $10, $20 because they were just supportive. So I made like $300-400 in like an hour one time. The other thing I did was I started door dashing. I had bought a scooter with the money I made from selling flags and computers, and I started door dashing. I was like living downtown, so I was like zooming all over through the city. But the thing was that these scooters and these electric bikes and whatever, they break pretty easily when it rains. So after like a month doing it, I ended up breaking my thing and it would have cost me like $500-600 just to fix it. So I was like, okay, well, this is clearly not working and it's not like the money's that good that I could do that. I ended up starting to do it with my dad's car, like just like as a side hustle, which is okay too, but obviously you need a car if you're gonna do that. At one point I even tried to basically get a guitar and start playing in the city center. I know like the basics of guitar, but I realized very quickly that that's like insanely intimidating and I had no interest in doing it very quickly. The other thing too is like I would try things like I got a cardboard and I would write on it and be like, ask me for directions and I'll pay you, because I live downtown. I knew the city well, so all the tourists needed like some sort of guidance. But it gave off this like homeless kind of vibe, so I was like, maybe not the best solution. Then this isn't really a hustle per se, it's more of a job, but it is a way to make money fast, I would say, like is being a waiter rather than a cook. I did both, but a waiter is like you learn how to count cash, you learn how to calculate your tips, you learn how to upsell and suggestive sell, you learn a lot of new languages. So as someone who's a hustler or entrepreneur energy, I do recommend it because it gives you a lot of value for a very quick job. I had tried all of these hustles and I got to the point where I was so exhausted that I realized that these short-term gains are not the solution. And that's when I started accepting that maybe I don't know everything and maybe that I should use some tools. So I finally accepted that AI could do better things than I can, and I started really learning about it, I started posting my videos and thinking more long term instead of like thinking like short gains, which has been 2 years and now I have 15,000 followers or more, whatever. And then crypto, investing slowly every week by $100, and then finally sales, which I did a sales job. I wouldn't say that's a hustle, but I do think that what I learned in sales is the most valuable thing, and I could apply it to anything. To conclude, I tried all these things and I think they all work to a certain degree or for a certain amount of time, but eventually you want to start thinking bigger, and that's when you do those 4 things, which is social media, AI, crypto, or sales. But that's why I'm talking to you here now. I basically have digital products. If you go to the link in my bio, I have 3 different books. These books are like, they have a lot of value to them. So if you feel lost and you don't know what direction to go to, I keep telling you guys, check the link in my bio. There's 3 books. They're not expensive and they could potentially change your life. So that's it. I hope you guys like the series, and I'll talk to you later.